Hello, my name is Harper, and I'm a transgender man in British Columbia. I've gotten a few DMs and comments on my videos asking about pretty basic things in terms of transition, like how do I start hormones, how do I, get top surgery referrals and stuff. And so I thought I would go over some pretty basic things in this video and also give you some resources first and foremost. Because I am one person with my own very limited experiences, these resources will be a really good place to start and just give you somewhere to launch off from in your research and just finding information. So here's some resources and information that you can utilize if you live in British Columbia. The first resource I'm going to recommend, and something that I have basically recommended every single person that has DM'd me or commented, is if you're on Facebook, then I really think that you should be on the FTM British Columbia Facebook page. It's a closed Facebook page, so that means that the only things that people can see of the Facebook page are the name of the Facebook page and the description of the Facebook page. They can't see, who's in it or any of the members, and so if you're in the closet, then you can join and still be able to be in the closet. The reason why I recommend this page is because I've been getting a lot of messages from people who are on the mainland, and specifically the kind of Vancouver area, and because I've never lived in the Vancouver area, I cannot give very good recommendations for resources or what's available, and so being in this group allows you to get information from people all over the province, and not just, my own experiences of being in Victoria and the Okanagan. The second general resource I wanted to recommend is Transcare BC's website. It can be pretty hard to navigate, but it is full of really useful information, and on their website they have email addresses and phone numbers you can call to ask more questions if you still haven't been fulfilled by their website. The next few things I'm going to talk about are more specifics about things like hormones and top surgery, as that's what I've experienced. So to get hormones, you have to find someone who is able to prescribe you hormones. This can be a doctor who is trained with Transcare BC, or this can be a therapist or a psychiatrist that will diagnose you with gender dysphoria and then through that get you hormones, surgery, that kind of thing. If you go with the doctor route, then you will probably be going through informed consent. In BC, you have to go through an assessment period with the doctor that is going to provide you hormones or whatever, and this also comes along with a physical and some blood work. If you'd like to check out my transition doc videos, I have a playlist of them, and it basically details my transition, so just if you wanted more information on that, then you can go check those out. I personally started hormones in the Okanagan Valley, and so that's the only place I've had experience specifically with hormones, though I do know of two other resources that you can use if you're either in Vancouver or Victoria. The one for Vancouver, or Burnaby, or the kind of surrounding cities of the area, is Three Bridges. I believe that Three Bridges and Ravensong have combined, and so only Three Bridges is available. I also don't know a ton about Three Bridges. I just have learned about it through people on the FTM British Columbia page, so you should go join that if you're in the Vancouver area. And the other place that I know of that's in Victoria is called Foundry. It is a youth clinic in downtown Victoria that also provides some trans care stuff, and as long as you're, I believe, below the age of 25, then you count as youth, and then they'll help you out. And I personally know one doctor in the Okanagan that, did hormones for me. So I guess if you're in the Okanagan and you want more details on that, then you can PM me and I'll respond and give you the information that I have. If you're not from these two places, then I recommend you ask your GP if they're, trans friendly and you're comfortable doing so, and otherwise ask people in the FTM British Columbia Facebook group, as there are people from all over the province in that group, and at least one person should be able to help you out. Another thing I've been asked is, how much do hormones cost? Now, this will vary. I've heard a couple things, different things. In British Columbia, you can get your testosterone covered or partially covered by MSP, which is the medical service plan of the province. And so I believe you have to ask for special authority, and it's something that your doctor has to do. So basically they have to fill out a form and ask the government to, or MSP, to cover it. And I haven't heard of anyone who's asked for it be declined. So I'd say it's a pretty good shot of you getting it covered or partially covered. Personally, mine is partially covered through special authority. So my first initial vial of testosterone, when it was not covered, was I think $62 Canadian. And since then, it's been $15 and under. On to top surgery resources, you go through a pretty similar process. I recommend you ask the person that is prescribing you hormones or your GP about getting top surgery. Because for top surgery, you need to be assessed by a qualified assessor, and that's not just anyone. And you either need to go to them, or they will come to you to assess you, I believe, in 2 sessions. I also have videos on that, so if you'd like, you can go to that playlist that I mentioned earlier about my transition, and I have 2 videos on the assessment that I got that was in 2 sessions. And yeah, basically you get an assessment. If they think that you're all tickety-boo to go on with surgery, then they will send a letter of recommendation to Transcare BC, and then you'll be put on the wait list for a call. In terms of cost of surgery, it is completely covered by MSP, which again is the province's healthcare plan, but only if you go to the very specific doctors that are funded by MSP. You can also go privately, which allows you to go to any doctor that, practices gender confirmation surgery or specifically top surgery, and that helps with wait times, but for some people it's just not an option financially. So there are a lot of surgeons now that do top surgery here in BC. They recently actually added a whole bunch more. There was, I think, like 4 or 5 for December, and there is a complete list on the Transcare BC website, but I'm going to go through the list of doctors that I have listed and I have confirmed from other people on the FTM British Columbia Facebook page that they have gone to and that I have seen results from. So there are 3 surgeons in the Vancouver area. There is Dr. Bauman, Dr. Genoway, and Dr. McKee, and I believe Dr. McKee is also in Burnaby. Dr. Bauman is the surgeon that has been doing trans surgeries for the longest. I believe he started in 2006, and he's basically trained everyone else in British Columbia for doing top surgeries and such. In terms of Burnaby, there are 2 doctors. There's, again, Dr. McKee, and then there's also Dr. White. There are 3 doctors in Victoria. There's Dr. Taylor, who I personally went to, Dr. Chang, and Dr. Robinson. In Kamloops, there is Dr. Jacoby. In Kelowna, there is Dr. Williamson. And in New Westminster, there is Dr. McInnes, I'm not totally sure how to pronounce this name, and Dr. Nelson. And finally, in Port Moody, there is Dr. Nguyen. There are 2 surgeons that are listed on the Transcare BC website that are listed to do top surgery, but I haven't seen anyone else that has either had surgery from them or has had a consult from them, and that's Dr. Halka in Prince George and Dr. Valnikek in Kelowna. The last resource I want to provide is just peer support and finding other trans guys or just trans people in general that you can get to know and maybe just feel the love from. I am a broken record at this point, but I'm going to say it again. The FTM British Columbia page is really, really good for finding people that understand what you're going through, and also to find people that are actually in your area that you can hang out with in real life. I also recommend to look for LGBT just groups in your area or GSAs at your school that kind of thing. And if it's safe to do so, I really, really, really recommend going to your local Pride events, you know, like your Pride March or whatever, because they always have really good resources, usually intended for general LGBT stuff, but, you know, you can sometimes find really great, you know, trans-specific programs that you had no idea about. I forgot to mention that I've made a trans British Columbia resources playlist below. There aren't many, you know, there's only 6 videos in there, I believe, and one of mine is included. And it's, you know, FTM oriented, just because those are the resources that I have found. But if you, know of any British Columbia trans resources, be they, MTF, FTM, non-binary, or if you are a YouTuber person on YouTube that is trans and is in British Columbia, and you talk about, your trans experience, or you have resources that are giving information about your transition, then feel free to, send me a message, send me a link, and I'll add your video to the playlist. I hope this helped clear some stuff up for, anyone who is looking for some resources or had a lot of questions. I tried to cover just kind of basic things in this video, but if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments or, DM me, that kind of thing. All of my social media will be linked in the description. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you later. Bye.